Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back. If you've ever tucked your child into bed after a really big day and thought, they're not just quite themselves today, or perhaps I wish I knew how to help them let go of everything they've carried today, then this episode is for you. In my last video, we explored how sometimes agitation, emotional overwhelm, and dysregulation may be one sign that a sensitive child's energetic system is asking for support. If you haven't watched that episode yet, I would encourage you to start there because it explains the why behind everything I want to share with you today. So today I want to actually show you what I do with my own daughters before I say goodnight each evening. It's a simple 5-step energetic bedtime ritual that has become one of the most important peaceful parts of our day. Now, before we begin, I want to gently say something that's really important. These practices aren't about replacing medical care, psychology, occupational therapy, or any other support your child may need. I believe our children are beautifully complex. Their physical well-being matters, their emotional well-being matters, their nervous system matters. And I also believe that for many sensitive, intuitive, and neurodivergent children, their energetic well-being matters too. These practices are simply another way of adding a layer of support. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And you can adapt the words to suit your own family. Just trust your intuition because no one knows your child the way that you do. I've also created a beautiful free printable called Energetic Bedtime Ritual card, which I've got here. I actually laminated mine. And this includes all of the 5 steps that I'll be sharing with you today. So you don't actually need to remember everything. You can download it from my website using the link in the description below and, keep it beside your child's bed or just have it in a spot where you can easily pull it out. So with the ritual that I'm going to go through, I also just want to say that depending on how your child feels, you may do this silently in your head while you're saying goodnight to them. Or if they're interested, you may say it out loud because the beautiful part is that they can actually learn how to do this for themselves. I have one daughter who isn't really interested, so I say all of this in my head, and as I'm singing her a song and saying goodnight to her, I'm doing this silently. And then my other daughter is quite open to this, so she is happy for me to say this out loud to her, and she visualizes too as well. So it's really up to how you feel and how your child is open to it. So before I walk you through the actual ritual, I'd love for you to imagine something. Think about your own day. Perhaps you've been at work, driving in traffic, spent lots of time around people, had difficult conversations, scrolled on social media, cooked the dinner, managed the school pickup, and by bedtime, you're probably carrying a little more than what you actually woke up with in the morning too. And, nothing necessarily may have gone wrong in your day. It's just that you've lived a full day. Children are exactly the same. Every friendship, every classroom, every playground, every disappointment, every exciting moment, every loud environment, every emotion, it all becomes a part of their day. Sensitive children often experience these things even more deeply. So rather than seeing bedtime as simply just the end of the day, I like to think of it as an opportunity, a chance to gently help my daughters release the day, to reconnect with themselves and to settle into sleep feeling peaceful, loved, and supported. And that's really at the heart of this ritual. It's not about fear, not about protecting them from something scary. It's just about creating a beautiful moment of connection before they fall asleep. So the first step is calm and connect. The very first thing I like to do is the simplest. I slow down, and before I start saying anything or visualizing anything or asking for any support, I just simply connect with my daughter. because connection is always where I begin. Sometimes it's just sitting on the edge of her bed, holding her hand, or placing my hand gently on her back, giving a little rub. And together we just take a few deep breaths together. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing that is like, okay, let's sit down and do these 3 breaths together. It's nothing like that. It just kind of happens naturally. Sometimes I'll ask, how's your body feeling today? Or how's your heart feeling? And sometimes they don't answer. Sometimes they'll just smile. Sometimes they're just talking about something that happened at school, something completely random. Sometimes they're just saying, I'm really tired, or just not saying anything at all. And that's completely okay, because it isn't about getting information. The purpose is connection. And I think as parents, we can sometimes feel like we need to solve everything, but our children often don't need another solution, particularly at bedtime. They just simply need to feel that we're fully present with them, that they're safe, that they're loved, that someone is present. And I often say connection comes before correction, and curiosity creates understanding. This tiny moment sets the tone for everything that follows. So the second step, Saint Germain and the violet flame. So once we've connected, I invite Saint Germain and his beautiful violet flame. This has become one of my favorite parts of our bedtime routine. Now, I want to explain why I do this, because it's not, again, coming from a place of fear. I'm not thinking, oh my goodness, my child must have picked up all this bad energy today or terrible energy. It's nothing like that at all. I'm just simply recognizing that children experience a lot through the day, and they're holding that as almost like tension. It's that busy classroom, it's the playgrounds, the friendships, the excitement, the disappointment, the noise, the big emotions, so much that they've experienced in the day. And even though their day can feel wonderfully full, it just can become a lot to carry. So for me, the violet flame becomes a beautiful symbol of letting the day go, a chance to gently say, you don't need to carry everything with you into tomorrow. It's a moment of renewal, of lightness, of coming home to yourself. So I quietly say, Saint Germain, please surround my child in the violet flame. Please lovingly clear and transmute any and all energies that are not serving my child for their highest good. May they gently release anything that is not theirs to carry and return to their own beautiful energy. Thank you. And it's just simply sitting there for a moment. And I imagine my daughter being surrounded by the beautiful light, and there's no rush, there's no pressure, just peace. And it's a very relaxing feeling. And I honestly think that's something that mums need to do, is that we just need to think of these rituals as just, they can be as healing for us as they are our children. I do this for me every night as well. So the third step is inviting in Archangel Michael. This has become such a comforting part of our evening. Again, this isn't coming from a place of fear. I'm not worried that my daughter has somehow picked up this bad energy through the day. I'm simply recognizing that sensitive children often carry more than we realize. Sometimes they carry the emotions of a friend who's had a difficult day. Sometimes they're carrying the energy of that busy classroom. Sometimes the excitement or the frustration, the disappointment or overwhelm that naturally comes from being a child in today's world. And sometimes they're simply carrying things that were never theirs to hold in the first place. I find that the sensitive children are so energetically porous. I think that's something that many of us adults can relate to too. We're often carrying the worries of the people we love. We often take on responsibilities that don't really belong to us. Our children can do exactly the same. So when I invite Archangel Michael, I'm not asking him to change my daughter in any way. I'm simply asking him to lovingly help her let go of anything she no longer needs to carry, to come home to herself, to finish the day feeling lighter. I quietly say, Archangel Michael, please help my child release any and all energies that are not for theirs to carry for their highest good. Please place a shield of your beautiful sapphire blue light around my child, protecting them from any and all energies that are not theirs to own. May they feel safe, peaceful, grounded, and completely themselves. Thank you. And as I say this, I imagine Archangel Michael gently helping my daughter release anything that isn't hers to carry. Then I imagine him surrounding her in a beautiful shield of blue light. Again, this isn't coming from fear. I'm not imagining the world as a dangerous place. I'm simply seeing it as wrapping her in love before she falls asleep. Much like pulling up a warm doona over on a cold night, this shield of light is a beautiful reminder that she is deeply supported, deeply loved, and doesn't have to carry the weight of the world on her little shoulders. It also energetically protects anything that is not hers from coming and being absorbed into her energetic system. So the fourth step is I invite in their spiritual team, and this is one of my favorites. I just invite their spiritual team to continue supporting them while they sleep. I often say that as parents, we don't have to do this journey alone. Whether you're connected with angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, or simply just believe in divine love, there's something incredibly comforting about remembering that our child are surrounded by loving support. Sleep is such a special time. Our bodies need rest, our minds need to process the day, and I believe it can also be a beautiful time for healing, guidance, and restoration. So I gently say, thank you to my child's loving spiritual team for always walking beside them. Please continue to guide, support, and watch over my child throughout the night. May they receive whatever healing, guidance, and love is for their highest good while they sleep. Thank you. And then I just simply pause, sometimes for a few seconds, sometimes for a minute. There's no right or wrong, just intuitively feel into it. And then I just have this feeling of gratitude, just grateful that I don't have to carry everything on my own, and grateful that my daughters are surrounded by so much love. So the fifth step, I finish with love. And this final step is actually the simplest. And in many ways, I think it's the most important. I finish with love. And most of us do this anyway. So while doing these rituals isn't all about the words, a lot of it is your presence. So in the few quiet minutes where your child is completely feeling safe, seen, loved, sometimes I'm just got my hand placed on their back or their shoulder or their hand. Sometimes I'll just kiss their forehead, or sometimes I'll whisper, you are safe, you are deeply loved, you are exactly who you are meant to be. May your body rest, may your heart feel light, may you wake feeling peaceful, refreshed, and completely yourself. And these words aren't just for her, they're for me too. They're a reminder to let go of the day, to stop wondering whether I got everything right, just to simply end the day with love and appreciation and gratitude. So just a note, please don't feel like this ritual has to be perfect. Some nights your child may just fall asleep before you've even finished. Some nights they'll want to chat for 20 minutes. Some nights you'll only manage to get through one of these steps, and that's okay. This isn't about following a script. It's about creating a few peaceful moments of connection before you say goodnight. So just trust your intuition. Change the words if you feel, something more natural. Take longer pauses. Shorten it when life is busy. Your child doesn't need perfection. They just simply need you, because your loving presence is the most powerful part of this ritual. If you're raising a sensitive, intuitive, or neurodivergent child, my hope is that this ritual becomes more than something you do before bed. I hope it becomes a moment that both of you can look forward to, a moment where the busyness of the day just fades away, where your child feels completely loved, where you feel connected, and where you both finish the day with a little more peace than when you started it. So, to make this really easy for you, as I said, I have created a beautiful energetic bedtime ritual card that you can download completely free. It includes all 5 steps that we've talked about today. along with the words or prayers, if you want to call them. So you don't need to remember everything that we've covered. You just print it out or have it on your phone. Just use it as is, adapt it to make it your own. And my hope is that it becomes a gentle reminder to slow down, reconnect with each other at the end of the day. And I have found so much of a wonderful change with my daughters because they are releasing so much of their day, so much that is not theirs, and they are being divinely protected and loved. So if you're watching this and you're feeling like your child may need a little bit more support, I'd love to invite you to learn more about my children's rainbow recalibration sessions, because every child is beautifully unique. During these distance healing sessions, I work intuitively with your child's spiritual team to support their energetic well-being. Along the way, I receive guidance and insights from their guides for you to better understand the energy that your child may be trying to communicate. And it's never about changing what your child is, it's about lovingly supporting them to feel lighter and calmer and more connected like themselves. So if you'd like to learn more, I will leave the link in the description below. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this video has encouraged you, I'd love to know in the comments. Do you already have a bedtime ritual with your child, or is there one practice from today's video that you're excited to try tonight? I always love hearing your stories and reading your comments. It helps me know that you like what I've created. And if you know another mum who is raising a sensitive, intuitive, or neurodivergent child, please feel free to share this video with them. And if you would like to have more conversations or understanding about your child's body, emotions, and energy, I would love for you to subscribe each week. So until next time, keep trusting your intuition, keep choosing curiosity, and keep seeing the beautiful soul within your child. Sending you so much love to you and your little one.